Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Lori Smith on Blog Talk Radio, and it is January 12th, 5:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning, and Calgary, Alberta time. I'm just happy to be here. I'm having some coffee and waking up, and I'm glad you can join me. This is blogtalkradio.com. It's a live internet streaming radio broadcast, and this is one child abuse survivor to another. Just a 15-minute quick chat in the morning about stuff that I find on the web, and issues surrounding child abuse, and really, this is just a show for some encouragement. That's what I thought I would do, is just sort of just be a voice Monday through Friday in the morning for people who are, who are really having trouble walking out their healing processes from child abuse, if you've suffered from child abuse, and for others, it might just be a good educational, 15-minute chat, because everything I'm reading, I'm finding off the internet, and it all seems really like some really good information, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, and just to be a voice of hope out there, because we all need encouragement. We all need, if you don't have someone in your life standing by you and encouraging you to keep going and finding whatever resources you can to get help. It can be hard sometimes, right? So, I'm really happy to be here. I have a guest call-in number, and you're more than welcome to phone in. It's at a U.S. number, and so it's 917-889-3736. And if I don't see you just stay on the line, because sometimes I'm reading from my paper, and I don't see people on the actual switchboard. So just hang in there, and I'll try to get to your call. And you can sit in the chat room as well. I have a few things typed up in there this morning, not too much, but I have a few things typed up in there as far as resources go, and you're welcome to hang out there. Now, we were talking yesterday about, it was a Survivor to Thriver manual from the Morris Centers, teamed up with ASCA Adult Survivors of Child Abuse. It's a Morris Center program at www.ascasupport.org, and I've never, heard of these guys, and I've never tried to, attempt to go to one of their meetings. I know that they hold meetings in cities, and this is just a website I stumbled across here not too long ago. Hadn't seen it before, and I just saw that they had some great information on there, and they have meetings, and they conduct self-help support groups and all kinds of stuff. So it's www.ascasupport.org. It's called Adult Survivors of Child Abuse, and it's an international self-help support group program designed specifically for adult survivors of neglect, physical, sexual, and or emotional abuse. They offer community-based self-help support groups, provider-based self-help support groups, as well as web-based self-help support groups. And they have this Survivor to Thriver workbook on there, and that's what I did. It's a PDF, it's a free download. I went and downloaded that, and there's some great information on there. It's 115 pages. I didn't print the whole thing. I just printed the parts I wanted to look at. And they have, it just begins to talk about, safety first, making sure you're safe when you're going to go through the workbook. So that's very important. So I'm only covering parts of it because I think that's very important for a person to make sure they're in a safe place before attempting to try to relive or to try to remember, not relive, but just to try to bring to remembrance memories that were pressed so far down back inside of you that, from child abuse, child sexual abuse, just any kind of abuse that you might have suffered, you might have repressed those memories. And so it does kind of work with people on how to get those memories out. So it's a great resource for people, and they're very responsible. They tell you to be sure and be safe when you're going to do that, because it's very important. So it seems like they really care, and I really like the website. I thought we'd talk today about something from the Survivor to Thriver manual, page 49, low self-esteem. We kind of went over yesterday some stuff from the manual, and it's adult repercussions of child abuse, and what are they, right? So low self-esteem, I thought we'd just get right into that. I'm going to read right from their page. If there is one quality most survivors share, it is low self-esteem. Chronic feelings of being bad or unworthy are intricately connected to all the other self-words that are used to describe the adult survivor. Self-effacing, self-deprecating, self-conscious, self-blaming, and so on. There's some big words there for this time in the morning. Low self-esteem causes survivors to become their own worst enemies by turning against themselves in a damaging reenactment of their own abuse, right? There are many abuse-related factors that contribute to low self-esteem. The way your parent abusers treated you, the message they conveyed about your personal value and worth, the amount of power they granted you, and the degree of control you had over your own life are a few examples. Of course, there is also a host of non-abuse related factors that can lead to low self-esteem. Concerns about your physical appearance, especially during adolescence, your progress in school, your social standing among your peers, and your family's financial or social position may all contribute to feelings of low self-esteem. Yeah, so I mean, there's lots of things that can happen to make a person, have feelings of low self-esteem, not just abuse. But if it's abuse just aggravates the whole thing, right? Because if you've been told over and over that, certain things, it will definitely make you have low self-esteem. While self-esteem stays relatively constant over the years, it is still a learned behavior, and as such can be changed by rethinking and reworking old attitudes and perceptions. And that's very good. I agree with that 100%. The first step in reversing low self-esteem is recognizing how you feel about yourself. Then you must learn to see how your shame, sense of unworthiness, and anger turned inward, pervade your life, and caused you to make bad decisions. Building self-esteem is a major task for adult survivors and is specifically addressed in Step 16. So we should really take a look at that maybe this week sometime too. And some of the journal questions they had here are, do you feel bad, unworthy, shamed, or dirty? The question 32, do you feel unable to stand up for yourself? The next one, do you feel stigmatized or tainted by your childhood? And the next question, are you endlessly critical of yourself? These are questions they ask us, and this is journal questions. And as you go through the Survivor to Thriver manual, they ask you a bunch of questions, and you answer them. And as you answer them, I guess it helps to bring out really your real feelings about the whole thing, and it lets you take a look at it right in front of you so you can assess it, right? It's quite interesting. And then it says, are you endlessly critical of yourself? Do you wish you were someone else? These are questions they're asking. Is it difficult to ever feel good about yourself? And is it hard to feel entitled to success or good fortune? And do you believe that others are more right than you? Do you compare yourself to images of perfection? And the last question they had here was, are other people's needs more important than yours? So, after filling out this little journal, we'd be able to see just how we actually feel about ourselves, right? And I know years and years ago, I'm quite over it now, but really mostly years ago I had a lot of problems with self-esteem, and I really had to work. I actually did sit down and start to think, okay, assess how I felt about myself. And I started to think, this is not good. This is not healthy. I remember I was very interested in positive information, things that were talking about magazines and stuff. If I would get the Women's Day magazine, or any magazine that was dealing with women's issues and stuff, and I would read them, and they would be talking about self-esteem issues. And I just lost my switchboard, but that's okay. I think I'm still streaming, so it's all right. They were talking about issues of self-esteem and stuff, and I thought, how do I see myself, right? And I realized I really had low self-esteem. And I thought, this is not good. And it really had a lot to do with the way I was treated as a child. And, my mother was berating me all the time, and not just me, but the other members in the family, and putting us down and making us feel bad, calling us names all the time. And name calling is very harmful. And I sort of had a picture of myself based on what she was directing at me all the time, right? Because this went on year after year after year after year. And so I still had fun in life and stuff, and I could still have a good time and be around friends and have fun and do stuff. But in the back of my mind, I always felt a little bit, bad, or a little bit unworthy. And just kind of very critical of myself. And even today, I still have to be careful. I do a lot of self-affirmations and pointing out to myself what I can do that is good. I tend to look more at what's good in my life than to concentrate on the negative too much, because if you look at some good things that are happening in your life, it helps you to see that yes, there is some good things going on, and you can build from that, right? But if you just concentrate on the negative all the time, it's really hard to go anywhere with that, except for just to spin around in a pool of negativity, right? Which I did for years. So I decided to take a positive approach and say, no, I'm going to start looking at what's good and what's working, and what is good that I'm able to do in this world, for myself and for others. And it changed the way I felt about myself. And I started thinking, I am worth it, and I do count. And that's a big message for me that I pass on to everyone else. You are worth it, and you do count. And I've probably only got a few minutes left on the show. I lost my switchboard, so I'm not sure. And that was just an interesting article there about low self-esteem. We already went through self-sabotage, and that one was really quite interesting. If you're sabotaging your own life, and if you have suicidal thoughts or tendencies, and I would just ask that you would reach out and get some professional help. That's my thing on the show. I really do promote it because I'm not a counselor, and I can't give that information. I can't give the proper information to people. And I know if I was looking for some real help, I would be searching out a therapist. So I will go over those too. I'm going to look that up, some information on how to choose a therapist and how to go about doing that. So it's great information out there. And I pulled off an article on post-traumatic stress disorder, and that was off thehelpguide.org. Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Michelle Rosenthal, founder of Heal My PTSD, is going to be on the show. And this is just awesome. She's going to be talking to us about, everything to do with post-traumatic stress disorder. And she has her own website, www.healmyptsd.com, and that's Michelle Rosenthal. The website's great, and she's going to talk to us about conquering the past, creating the future, awareness, education, treatment, healing. She's also on Blog Talk Radio, and you can find their show on Blog Talk Radio, Heal My PTSD, and I would highly recommend it. She has a blog, links, causes, symptoms, therapy. There's therapy, talk about different types of therapy, behavior therapy, cognitive behavior therapy, and what therapy can do to help, right? And there's tips for consulting, post-trauma identity, bridge the gap healing workshop, all kinds of great information there. And I would just suggest that you just get on our website, www.healmyptsd.com, and check it out. And I hope you can join the show and be a part of it. She's just so good to come on the show and do this for us. I also wanted to bring up another website, www.artbylindalee.com. And Linda Lee, she's a survivor of child abuse. She participated in the Child Abuse Monument Project in Toronto, Ontario. It's an awesome project. And Michael C. Irving, psychotherapist and sculptor, is the founder creator of that Child Abuse Monument, and along with child abuse survivors, they created this monument, and she got to participate. Go onto her website. She's got a great website with resources, professional counselor links, suicide prevention links, child abuse prevention links. She's doing some great things. And www.artbylindalee.com. And we have just a few minutes left here on the show. I'm a volunteer for Dream Catchers for Abused Children. Please check their website out. They have some awesome resources. You can literally spend days on there looking around, and you just type into your browser http dreamcatchersforabusedchildren.com, and I'm telling you, lovely and great website. Awesome group of people doing some awesome things, and I'm happy to stand with them and just do what I can to help them to help with their cause. The reason being is they are really proactive on the prevention side and on getting people help. So I just love what they're doing, And if you need anything and you need more information, get a hold of me. And otherwise, I hope to see you, hope to hear from you. And I'll be back on tomorrow morning, 5:30 in the morning, same time, same place. I just really hope you have a good day. Take care, everyone.